Good day, Internet. Mr. Thain back at it again with another teaching tips video. Today we're talking about getting started with small groups. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to start small groups, how many rotations I do, how do I see so many groups a day, etc. So I figured I would dive into it with a quick video. I'm going to break down point A to point B, how to get started, and how to get set up, and then how to get yourself set up so you can have small groups for the whole year. So let's get started. Step one to starting small group instruction is assessment. The first thing you want to do is you want to assess your students and find out where they are, and then group them with other students that are at the same level. As you can see in this picture, I have 4 groups: green, blue, yellow, and red. Green being the highest, followed by blue, then yellow, then red. I group these students based on common assessments and put them in groups that the students are at the same level, and it helps me to differentiate for them and give them what they need to move forward. Before you can start teaching small groups, you have to have a plan in place for what the rest of your students are doing while you're teaching your small group. So you need to have different centers or stations available for your students to do while they're not working with you. For example, I have many different literacy and math centers that students can work on while my other students are with me. Another great thing that you can have is technology. You can use computers or iPads, whatever your school has available, but you have to think for yourself, what are the rest of my students doing while I am teaching my small group? Something to keep in mind when you're thinking about what stations or work centers that you want to do is that these stations or centers need to be independent. Students should be able to do them on their own, and it should be review. It should not be new learning, it should be review of skills that they've already learned. If you have computers or iPads available to you, this should be a center that students are working at every day during your small group time. Some good websites that you could use include ABC Mouse, Starfall, and also abcya.com. Once you have your stations figured out, the next thing that you need to figure out for yourself is rotations. How many groups are you going to see each day? Who do you see first? And so on. So here is a picture of my daily schedule for guided reading and guided math. At the top of the screen, you're looking at my computer schedule. At the bottom left is my guided reading schedule, and at the bottom right in green is guided math schedule. Alright, now I'm going to break down my guided reading schedule for you. I see 3 groups every day. One of the groups is on computers the whole time. On this particular day, I saw the green, yellow, and red group. You can see this on my guided reading chart in the blue. The blue team was on computers the whole time for the whole hour. If you look up at top of my chart here, you will see the computer schedule, and you will see a GR. That stands for guided reading, and that is when the students have their turn to be on computers. Every team has 1 guided reading period a week that they're on computers the whole time. The reason I do this is because 4 groups is too many to see in one day, and that way I can only do 3 rotations. Over the years, I've tried doing all 4 groups, 2 groups, 1 group, and for me the magic number is 3 groups. So that is why I've made the choice to do it in this way. Now let's talk about rotations. There are 3 rotations. Let's look at guided reading, the blue chart, under number 1. Green team starts out at T. T stands for teacher, that's my table. Yellow team will be starting out at a center, and red team is starting out at their work box. After we're done with the first rotation, we look at number 2. Green team goes from me to their work box. Yellow team was at their center, and they come to me, and red team is going from their work box to their center. After the second rotation, we rotate 1 more time. Green team goes to centers, yellow team will be at their work box, and red team will be with me. Right now, each one of my rotations is 20 minutes long. Now, you will have to do some work to build up to that time, and you can play around with the time, do whatever works for you. But my guided reading and guided math block is 1 hour, 3 20-minute rotations. An easy way to keep track of time while you're doing your small group lessons is to set a timer. At the beginning of each lesson, set a timer for 20 minutes or whatever time you choose, and when it goes off, the students will be alerted that it is time to switch. This will be a routine that you have to put in place in practice every day, but eventually the students will get it down and it'll work wonderfully for you. So now you have your centers figured out, you have your schedule set up and your rotation schedule figured out. Now you need a nice place to actually teach your small group instruction. I'm lucky enough to have a nice kidney bean table, and that's where I do my small group instruction at. Notice my kidney bean table is very close to the computers. That way, if a student gets messed up on the computers or needs help, I'm close. Also, you can see on my chair right there is hanging my cape. I put on my cape when I'm teaching a small group, and that's a visual for my students to let them know that they can't bother me right now, but they could raise a quiet hand, and I will see that, and when I get a free moment, I can come over and help them. Those colored boxes are the work boxes. The work box rotation in my guided reading and guided math is the student's independent work time. Every student has work at their individual level inside their box every day to do for reading and math. Now, I'm lucky enough to have these physical plastic boxes. You don't have to use those, however. You could use folders. Every student could have their own folder of work. You could get creative with how you pass out the materials, but it's important that they have time to do independent work. Alright, so there you have it. That's my small groups. That's how I do my small groups every day. If you like this video and if you got something out of this video, please share it with somebody. Like the video, comment on the video. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I would love to share with you any information that I can. Enjoy your day, have a great day, and get small groups started.